Hello, my name is Rocket, and welcome back to episode 45 of my Postknight playthrough. Now last episode we did the Gloom Shroud in the hard difficulty, and today we're going to move on into the Sunken Trail in the hard difficulty. Now the Sunken Trail is a very interesting level, and it's a very hard one obviously. I think this is probably one of the few first levels, I guess, maybe the Gloom Shroud as well, but the Sunken Trail is a level that even if you have full build, full equipment, full good equipment, full stats, everything, you're still gonna have a hard time beating the game or beating the level, and you really need a good potion. Now, I recommend having 1/3 of your potion. So the potion heals you for at least 1/3 of your HP. I think that's probably the bare minimum so you can beat the level consistently. I am drained out of resources. I used everything and I only got up to 700. So we're gonna try with 700, but yeah, I recommend having at least 1/3. So maybe 760, 780 would be better. But we're going to try with 700, see how we do. Now I'm talking about a little bit more about the Sunken Trail. So the Sunken Trail is very interesting because if you remember from the Grim Grove level where we were introduced to Hooligan family enemies, so the Hooligan Archer, and the Hooligan Witch Doctor, from the Grim Grove up to this point, we've been seeing an increase of amount of Hooligans and a decrease in amount of Hooligan Archers. So, you know, an increase on melee enemies and a decrease on range enemies. In this level, however, we're going to be seeing a slight decrease on Hooligans and double the amount of Hooligan Archers. That is pretty scary for a backline. Something else I want to highlight about this level is that we see a slight increase on Prongles. Now, up to this point, I've been saying the Prongles, you know, they're not very menacing. They're just kind of probably the worst enemy you can find here, damage-wise. But because of the double increase of Hooligan Archers, the Prongle actually becomes a bit scary to find in this level because there's going to be so many Hooligan Archers doing damage that the Prongles are actually a very annoying frontline to deal with. Since there's a slight increase in their amount, their ability is super annoying, right? They just run at you and stun you. It makes it harder for you to close the gap and reach all of the Hooligan Archers you're going to be finding this level. So yeah, that's something crazy. We're gonna have to use the Blitz here. I think the Blitz is way better than the Elusive in this particular level because of how many Hooligan Archers we're going to be finding. But obviously the big problem is that we don't have that much of a heal. And that's where I think you really need a potion, because the biggest problem with the agility build is obviously you heal all your HP back, but that only happens when you have your shield and your charge up. If you don't, if you get one shot, you die, you lose the level, right? So yeah, that's the biggest problems with this level. We're gonna try it though, and see how well we do, or how badly we do, with only 700 HP from our potion. Other than that, it's just a very hard level on the backline, so if you take care of the backline, the Hooligan Archers, the Hooligan Witch Doctors, you should be fine ultimately, right? But yeah, the problem is not getting one shot because, you know, these Hooligan Archers are really scary. As you can see, I'm already losing a ton of HP here. But, you know, we're trying to get the potion to survive while we're waiting for our shield to come up so we can charge with our shield and regen all of our HP back and see how we do it like that. Yeah, the Prongles are going to be really annoying to close the gap. So the Blitz is really important so you can access all the Hooligan Archers can be fine. Look at 3 Prongles. Imagine if there was a Hooligan Archer behind that. It's really hard to get behind. And then we have the Witch Doctors doing 1/3 of our HP every time they attack, which is really scary. So yeah, the backline is the biggest threat. I think the Hooligan Archer is the scariest opponent in this level because you find so many of them. Then the Hooligan Witch Doctor, so 2 range characters, so 2 range enemies. And then the Hooligan, more normal stuff we're used to. But yeah, it's very scary how many Hooligan Archers you will find in the Sunken Trail. So yeah, I do recommend you have at least 1/3 of your HP in the potion regen so you can try to have a good time while going here. Or it's going to be a bit harder to beat it consistently, but we're trying with only 700. And for now, we're kind of having a bit of trouble, but we're kind of surviving as well. So, you know, 3 Hooligan Archers, how crazy is that? Alright, we haven't regen too much. But I guess they're giving us a little bit of a break. We have some Goose and some Prongles. That's good for us to regen. But yeah, we can get past them pretty easily because we have the Blitz. So the range enemies are a bit easier to defeat. But we do lose upon that regen that we always need. I'm gonna have the shield there and gonna wait again a little bit. We're full HP, so we should be fine ultimately. Alright. Yeah, as you can see, we take so much damage from these enemies. It's super hard to stay alive. You really need a good potion. But yeah, we're trying just to beat it once. We're not trying to beat it consistently, I guess. But yeah, a recommendation, at least 760, 780 potion minimum. And then you should be fine, I believe. Right, we made it the midway. That's pretty good. So let's keep moving. After this, there's the hardest level left. And we're done with the hard difficulty rounds in the Fractured Forest after that. Alright. Yeah, alright, I have some Goose and a Hooligan Archer. Okay, that's pretty scary. Yeah, because of the Blitz, we just go pass through them really quickly, really well. And alright, I think we're doing quite fine for now, at least. I think until we find like a lot of enemies, like a Hooligan Witch Doctor, and then a Hooligan Archer just attacking us for like so much damage, I might just die. We should be okay, I think. Our regen is still very slow and a bit scary. Like, look at that damage. 2 Hooligan Archers and a Hooligan Witch Doctor. That's a scary one. Alright, we're doing quite fine, actually. Right. The 700 is actually really good. Before this, I had like 580, so that's 120 HP increase. That's a lot, you know? Because think about it, like, even a difference between 700 and 720 is really big because you get extra 20 HP per heal. That's too much. So yeah, try to maximize your potion a little bit so you can have an easier time on this level. But other than that, just try to use, I think the Blitz is a bit better because of all the range enemies that are really scary. So a lot of Hooligan Archers and the Hooligan Witch Doctor. But other than that, it should be okay. We're actually already at the boss. So let's see. The boss, we should be okay on the boss actually. I don't think this is the scariest boss in the game. I actually think there's harder bosses in the earlier part of the game. So ultimately, we should be fine here. Right. Yeah, I think we're fine here. I think we're just gonna beat him. His poison attack isn't very threatening at all. I think there's a lot scarier bosses in this game. So yeah, I think this is the Sunken Trail in the hard difficulty, just like that. And alright, we did do it with 700 HP, so I guess 700 works. I had to try that, I didn't know. But yeah, 700 HP worked. It worked pretty okay. We had a few hard times, but overall we did pretty well. So 4 minutes, I think it's pretty good. The Sunken Trail is one of the hardest levels. And with that, yeah, we did it. The Sunken Trail in the hard difficulty. Next episode, we're going to be doing the Villery, so the hardest level of the game. That's going to be taking a bit longer than the Sunken Trail, but yeah. Sunken Trail, the theme is a lot of range enemies. Take the Blitz. I really highly recommend the Blitz over the Elusive, because obviously the Elusive is going to be a bit better defensively, so you regen a lot more HP, and maybe you don't have that much scary situations. But once you have to deal with so much backline, it's going to be so hard for you to close the gap, especially with a lot of prongles in your way just annoying you and stunning you, and it takes longer for you to beat them, and then it takes longer for you to go in and close the gap to the backline, and the Hooligan Archers will always be attacking and doing DPS, right? So yeah, Blitz, high recommendation, then the Elusive cover, pretty normal. And yeah, that was the Sunken Trail in the hard difficulty. Next episode, we'll be doing Villery in the hard difficulty. So for now, that's it. Hopefully you did enjoy this episode. If you made it to the end, I really hope you did enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.